want to be remembered? And I thought his answer, of course, was just perfect. He goes, I want to be remembered as being a good teammate, respected by all the coaches and my peers. I want everybody to know I love the game of football.
And the Denver Broncos have taken Super Bowl 50.
Beer, Broncos, and
Hello
no BS.
again, Broncos country.
Welcome
Really
to
excited
Beer,
to chop up some Broncos.
Orange Weekly. No politics, just football. What's up, Broncos country? How we all doing other than hurting? No, it says it's Beer, Broncos, No BS show, but that is the Tuesday show. I just did not go through and reinvent everything for a post-game show. That's what we're doing here right now is post game 3. Just initial thoughts. I have my beer here with me because I think we all need it right now. But go ahead and start posting comments, questions. This is just a very informal. Let's just sit down and chat and kind of hear what your thoughts are. Here at Orange Weekly, this is, we're probably going to disagree about some things. That's perfectly fine. That's what gets the conversation going. So I'm all for, if you disagree with me, you want to call me stupid, that's fine. I'm not going to call you stupid if I disagree with you, that's fine. Whatever's going on. So either way, guys, I will let you know that Orange Weekly will be here no matter what. No matter what, we're going to be here every week with our pregame and postgame podcasts, our Tuesday night Beer Broncos No BS show, our pregame show, our halftime show, so on and so forth. We are going to stay here for you guys throughout the entire season. If you want to stick with us, man, we're going to be here till the end. So we love doing this for you guys, and it's fun interacting with you guys. So let's get started seeing some questions here. Olive, how you doing? Sad result today. Yep, you could say that. Casey, Colin Kaepernick is all I have to say. All I have to say, Casey, is nope. That's not happening. There are other teams who need quarterbacks too, and this is speculation, but I'd imagine after he got that settlement from the NFL, that part of it was he's not going to pay, or he's not going to play for the NFL again. But if you think that Colin Kaepernick's would do any better than Joe Flacco, I wholeheartedly disagree with you, man. Now the comment of how did Joe Flacco do today? It was not good by any means in the second half. First half, look, guys, we moved the ball. When's the last time we saw a Broncos offense move the ball down the field, drive after drive? Now you take those three turnovers away. Now we could be talking about something different. But once again, the Broncos have found a way to shoot themselves in the foot, and here we are, 0-3. Let's see, Red Cloud. Where do we go from here? We made turnovers, but it's clear we will have rather run than pass. Now, guys, the run was working today. Based off the defense that the Packers are putting out there, you want to go listen to Coach Fangio's post-game press conference. Obviously, I haven't gone through and watched all the film myself. It's just, emotionally watching the game. They were putting a whole bunch of defensive backs out there. They were testing. They were asking the Broncos to run the ball. And for the most part, it was working. We were getting I think our average was 3.9 yards per carry. And again, a run that's more than 3 yards is a good run. So the run game was moving the ball for us, and we were working the ball down the field. So when you're playing a team like Green Bay, yeah, ideally you like to have a run and a pass even, 50-50 split between the run and the pass. In this case, we're playing a team like Green Bay in their stadium, and we found something that was working. The run was working. It was helping us. It was allowing us to move the chains more often than not. The pass game was not working as well. So there's no real good... It doesn't make sense in that situation. We know the run game's working really well, but we know the pass game isn't working that well. Well, let's go ahead and keep calling it 50-50. Well, look, especially when you get down at the end, you're going to stick with what's working. and the run game was working. And so I don't disagree totally with that. There were some other calls that I disagreed with from what Coach Scangarello made, but again, that's why he's getting paid the big bucks, and we can sit here and poke and make fun of, or not make fun of, but question what he did all day long. But again, he's the one getting paid. So let's see. Bernice, love my Broncos. Gerald, love the Broncos. Violet, always love my Broncos. You guys are fantastic. Shay, go Broncos. You guys are fantastic. And I tell you what, guys, look at my getup. You won't even see that I'm wearing Broncos shorts, Broncos socks, and Broncos shoes. I even have a little Broncos plastic ring here I got. See, you can see it. Look, we love the Broncos too, is the point. We're going to be here. If you guys stick with us and just keep following us, we're going to be here no matter how the season turns out. But I love to see the optimism from you guys. Let's see here. Go back up here a little bit. Man, you guys, so many comments. This is awesome. Casey, sorry. Y'all had very, very frustrated. I know we were better. But with players like Flacco, it's crazy how he won't go down the field. Yeah, dude, Casey, I completely agree with you. It's very frustrating. It was 3rd and 17 there, with like 2 minutes left at the end of the game or something. And what does he do? He throws to, I think it was Philip Lindsay, at the line of scrimmage. I mean, yeah, it's very frustrating. He's I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know if it's that he doesn't have that connection yet with the wide receivers. He doesn't trust the offensive line to protect him, or what. I really don't know. I don't know if he was after the 3rd turnover there. Well, I mean, I think 2 of them were him. Well, one of them was him, another was strip sack, the other was Noah Fant. But I think at that point, maybe he was just so concerned about tracking the football that he just didn't even want to test, try to make anything happen down the field. But either way, it was very frustrating to see, Casey. So I agree. Now, guys, is Joe Flacco the long-term answer? No, he's never meant to be the long-term answer. That's why I only gave him the 2-year contract. The long-term answer is try to get, groom up somebody like Drew Lock. And, are we going to see him this year? Probably not, unless we are 06, 07, 08, which, God, I hope that doesn't happen. I seriously don't think that's going to happen. It's probably not something we're not going to see him at that point. I'd like to get him some game experience if we are in that position going into next year, but Joe Flacco is not going to be the long-term answer. And so, guys, I know this sucks because this has been like the 3rd year of our rebuild, but I've said it 20, 30 times already. The last 2 years, I pretty much don't count as a rebuild because we didn't build on anything over the last 2 years. We did not move forward at all under the last 2 years coaching staff. In the last 3 weeks now, the first 3 games of this season, we've seen some improvements. And again, when's the last time you saw a Broncos offense move the ball down the field, especially like a defense against Green Bay? I mean, they're not a terrible team by any means. And we were able to move the ball consecutively, down the field, eating up a ton of time off the clock. We had everything going for us except for those 3 turnovers. And minus not getting any turnovers or sacks ourselves. Now, we did come close a couple times to getting sacks, but every time we got close, Aaron Rodgers just moved out of the pocket or threw the ball, to not even worry about getting sacked. I keep bumping this. I'm sorry, guys. It's making loud noises. So I know it says 0 sacks, but we're putting pressure on Aaron Rodgers, and that's what you got to look for. I hate the 0 sack stat right now. I hate it because you got to look at what those guys are still doing. They were still pressuring Aaron Rodgers. They're still forcing him to throw the incomplete passes. And that's, that's at the end of the day what you want to get. Okay, well, ideally you get the sack, but when you're playing an experienced quarterback like Aaron Rodgers and he sees you're coming, boom, he's just going to throw the incomplete. He's not going to hold on to the ball. So, we're still putting pressure on him. The 0 turnovers, that's probably the one that bugs me the most, and I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole here. But, Casey, my bottom line is, yeah, it's very frustrating. Let's see. Wayno, how you doing? Really think our offense is too vanilla? Yeah, vanilla, maybe, but at the same time, we're moving the ball down the field. We essentially had them tied going into halftime if you take away that turnover we had at the very end of the second quarter there. So, I don't care if it's vanilla as long as it's working. And it was working. So if it's just run, pass, run, pass, or something like that, as long as it's moving the chains, I don't care. It doesn't have to be flashy in my book. That's what I'm thinking. But as long as it's working, we were getting almost 4 yards of carry there. And, Can't have to look up. Hold on, let's see what our pass yards were. Flacco was getting no, not there. So we had 20 pass attempts to 38 run attempts. Flacco was 20 for 29. He got sacked 6 times, guys, and threw the 1 interception. Aaron Rodgers had 235 yards. He was 17 for 29, but had 0 sacks. You know, yeah, he had the pressures, but he had 0 turnovers as well. Man, I know I just saw it. 7.9 or 3.9 yards per carry for the Broncos, and it was like 3.3 yards per carry for the Packers. So, I'm sorry, I just had this up. I'll try and find it again. Anyway, vanilla offense, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, as long as it's working, I don't care. In this case, it really was working, except for the turnovers. So, let's see. Wayno, what's the deal on our defense? The big thing, I don't know why we couldn't stop the pass. Yeah, you can sit here and say, yeah, it was Aaron Rodgers, but why we couldn't stop the pass, I don't know. I'm really confident if any coach can look at it and say, what are we doing wrong? It's Coach Fangio because of what he's done for the defenses he's led. Now, you know, it takes some time to build this, guys. It really does. And this is his first time as head coach. We got to be patient, guys. I know we've been patient for 2 years. And we've heard that, you know, us here at Orange Weekly, we've heard everyone for the last 2 years say, just be patient. But imagine this. The last 2 years just don't even count. The last 2 years do not count. Here we are, essentially year 1 of rebuilding the team. So it sucks, but here we have to be patient. This team, guys, this team will turn around. It's the Denver Broncos. We're not going to stay down forever, okay? So if you keep riding with the team, it will pay off. That's why we're going to stay here at Orange Weekly, because we're some of those diehard fans. And if you're watching this right now, you're a diehard fan too. I know you are. So even though we're frustrated and maybe pissed off even, but that's the way it is. You guys are diehard just as us. Hey guys, if you want to share that video for me, we can get some more people in here to chat. I'm trying and go through some of your comments a little faster, but those are my initial thoughts anyway on the game. Remember, Tuesday night, Beer Broncos No BS. It says there, right there at the bottom, you know, a little Vanna White. But 7 p.m. Mountain Time for that show. The post-game podcast should be coming out here the next day or two, so watch for that as well. Okay. Penalties are killing us. Turnovers were killing us today. We only had 2 or 3 penalties, maybe 4 at the most. The Packers had like 6, 7 plus penalties. So penalties today were not the issue. And how many times did we hear Garrett Bowles' name? 0. So Ron Leary, I think, had a couple of holds. There was that really crappy holding penalty against Emmanuel Sanders. There was a block in the back, so I think we might have 4 or 5. But penalties compared to last week, I mean, better. Little stupid ones, but I think it's better there. But the turnover ratio for us is just not good at all. Martin, how you doing? Let me go back over here. Juan, how you doing? Things that bother me is that I'm seeing a lot of people jumping ship already. Fire this person and that person. If we beat the Jags, they don't deserve this team. I agree, man. So, like I said, Broncos country, if you're watching this, I know you're diehard. I know you might be frustrated. I got to fix this where I don't keep bumping it, guys. I'm sorry. It's tough. It's tough to watch, but hang in there, guys. We're not going to fire the coach. We're not going to fire Coach Fangio. Not going to happen 3, 4, 5 games in. He's not going to get fired this season. I can guarantee you that right now. There's no need to. Yeah, it's 0-3. Okay, but you look at the 3 teams we played to start off. Okay, ignore the Raiders game because they're 1-2 now. But you think without those 3 turnovers, that's 14 points right there. That would have put the score immediately at 16-13. Now, McManus had made that extra point. That would have been 17-13. So those turnovers really killed. And, you know, you put the ball in a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers' hand in a short field position after a turnover, they're going to get the touchdown more often than not. They got two touchdowns out of the 3 turnovers we had. So, you know, it's not surprising. We lost to ourselves. But one, I completely agree. Don't jump ship, guys. We're not going to fire anyone. We're not going to get rid of Joe Flacco. We're not going to trade Von Miller. None of that's going to happen. None of it. And if it does, I'll stand corrected. Red Cloud, I'm a firm believer that we beat ourselves again on turnovers. Yep, Keith, the game, they played a good game. If not for the turnovers, they win. Yep. Dennis, ugh, yeah, we're right there with you. Bring Manning back. I would pay so much money to have Peyton Manning come back, and I don't have that much money, but not enough for Peyton Manning to come back and play. But that'd be awesome. Casey, I'm not jumping ship. I'm sick of Elway getting these old dudes. We need a mobile quarterback. You're not wrong, Casey, and that's look. Elway has had a reputation of having bad drafts between the 14, 15, 16, 17 drafts, year drafts. How many players are left on the team? Like a few, maybe like 3 or 4 in those years combined. And when it comes to quarterbacks, he's not drafted good quarterbacks. Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch. Who's the other one? Brock Osweiler. Okay, so this is a problem. And now this is where you're saying get rid of John Elway. Look, it's not going to happen right away. He has 2 more years after this on his contract. If this continues to be a problem, let's say Drew Lock turns out to be a dud as well, which somebody knock on wood that doesn't happen, then we could be talking about something like that in a couple of years. But for the time being, we got John Elway. So I'm not saying that you're jumping ship, Casey. I'm not saying anyone here is jumping ship. But I'm telling you the reality from where I'm seeing it. I'm not an expert. I'm just a diehard fan like you guys. The way I'm seeing it, everyone who's there right now is going to stay. The only way we're probably going to see Drew Lock play at all is maybe in the last 4 games of the season, if and when it's completely hopeless that look, we just got to move on to next year at that point. You know what I mean? So, yeah, anyone who I'm disagreeing with, I'm not saying that you're not a fan. I'm not saying, oh, well, you're not a true fan, all that stuff. If you're watching the show and you're commenting, I know you're a true fan, guys. And we all have our difference in opinions. So that's just the way it is. I get it. Okay. Hello, Dennis. How you doing? Make those miracles happen. I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best. I want to say the show is great, but I honestly think this is Elway's final season as GM. Daniel, I appreciate the comment. I really do. This is not Elway's final season. He's got 2 years left on his contract after this. They're not going to get rid of him before his contract is up. And again, if they do, I will stand corrected. But they gave him the 3-year extension. And the bigger problem right now is we don't have an owner. So we're not going to get rid of our GM while we also don't have an owner. And in fact, it was until a couple months ago, it was required that NFL teams had a specific owner. Other teams are getting really pissed off that we were operating with no owner. So the NFL came out and waived that rule requirement. But as it is right now, we're not going to get rid of the GM when there's no owner because we're already in a world full of hurt the way it is right now. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Something to keep in mind. Casey, absolutely the show, man. I appreciate that. I really do. We appreciate all of you guys. We really do. That's why we're doing this. Well, that's why I'm sitting here right now, drinking my beer, talking with you guys, you know. Tom, how you doing? Not shocked by the result. Great running game from Lindsay. Agreed. I think he had like 30 fantasy points or something. Would have liked to see more from Vaughn and Bradley. Yeah, I think that they did okay because they were putting pressure on Aaron Rodgers. They also made some very good run stops. Okay, do we have the sacks? No. But again, that 0 number, I'd like it to be 1 or 2. But at the end of the day, I mean, we were pressuring Aaron Rodgers to make those incomplete throws. So. Yeah, I'm trying to be optimistic, guys. I'm trying here. I know some of you are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. Shane, can you guys help me understand what's going on with the team this year? The last 3 years, the Vance Joseph, we were never a playoff team for some odd reason, but we won games. We were never 0-3. I think part of it, Shane, from my point of view, was we came out with the ability to win a couple quick games. We also, didn't have the strength of, playing teams like we have been. Coach Fangio's in the process of building this team up over a long period of time. So we started 2-0 the last 2 seasons. Great, but what happened after that? It was terrible from there on out, right? Both of those 2 years. I think we might have made it to 3-1, but after that, it was just not good. I do think that once we start winning games, it's going to be for a long-term thing. We're not just going to win 2 games here and then suck again. That doesn't mean as soon as we win 1, I'm sitting here going, yeah, we're going to win the rest for the season. No, but I think more consistently we're going to be winning games after we get that first one. I'd like to think we're closer than what the game looked like today. Again, take away those 3 turnovers. Take away 2 of those turnovers. This could have been a very different game. But Shane, that's my take is, Yeah, we won a couple games, but this year we're trying to build something for the future. We have a lot of very young guys. We're seeing people like Bosby step up. He played a great game. Nobody's talking about Bosby, really. We talked about it on the halftime show a little bit, but yeah. Okay, play calling was horrendous. I don't just want to say horrendous, Timothy. How you doing, by the way? There were some things like when it was 2nd and 1, or 2nd and goal from the 1 yard line. Why did we not? It was 3rd and 1 from the goal line. Why are we passing the ball on third and goal from the 1 yard line? Why? In fact, Reisner got that one of the touchdowns that was credited to Philip Lindsay. Go back and watch that touchdown. It was the 4th and 1. Essentially, Reisner picked up Philip Lindsay and threw him into the end zone. So if you ask me, Reisner should be credited with that touchdown because he was carrying the ball carrier who had the ball and threw him into the end zone. So I wouldn't say horrendous. There's still some things where I'm just like, I don't understand what he's trying to do. But again, that's why he's getting the big bucks. We didn't win, so nothing was working. Dennis, I disagree as well. Things were working. Going to halftime, again, I know it sucks to say to take away the turnover, but we kept up with them for the first half. We had twice the amount of time of possession as they had. I think it was about 20 minutes for us to 10 minutes for them. It was working. We were moving the ball down the field. So I don't want to say just because we lost that nothing was working. Things were working, but it didn't sustain throughout the entire game. Casey, that block in the back call was BS as well. Yeah, there were a couple questionable calls. I think that holding one on Sanders was the bigger one. Let's see. I don't want to skip over comments, but if I already talked about it, I'm going to probably move past it. Brandon, get a QB that wants to win. We talked about that. There's nothing we can do about that right now. We needed 6 yards and throw a 6-yard pass, not a 3-yard pass. Timothy, you're right. I'm on my period. Love my Broncos. Let's get some wins. Shane, you're awesome. Tom, I'm amazed by the fact we have no takeaways in 3 games. Tom, you're not alone. You're not alone. I'm sitting there with you as well. Red Cloud, this is a 0 chord call all the way through. This isn't all on Flacco. This was a team loss. Noah Fant, yeah, that was a weird fumble. Look, the ball got stripped out of his arms. This is his 3rd regular season game ever. So things like that. It wasn't just Flacco that lost the game for us. Defense could not stop Aaron Rodgers' passing game. If we don't whoop the Jags, we have to make some changes. Casey, and I don't know if I'm going to get down to the comment here, but what kind of changes? I'm just honestly curious. I'm trying to think of what kind of changes we could make. Drew Lock's not back yet. Offensive line. Let's say we want to get sit Garrett Bowles. Who are we going to replace him with? I don't know about the extent of Derek Carr's injury, or not Derek. Sorry guys, Derek Wolfe. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. We have no depth to this team right now, so I don't know what kind of changes we need to make. To be honest with you. What's going on with the great pass rush defense? We have the talent. We do have the talent, but it's just not showing on the field, Shane. It's kind of the best thing. Steven, pretty sure we have a bandwagon Raiders fan on our hand. At least they have a win. Steven is a good friend of mine, and when I say good friend, I really mean that. I hate him, but I do love him as a friend. He's a good guy. Get out of here, Steven. PFAF. Hate you. Blue, how you doing? Schedule doesn't get any easier. Nope, especially when you're playing the Chiefs twice a year. Timothy, we're not being responsible for doing our jobs, missing assignments, beating ourselves. Steven says vanilla is gross. Steven, you're gross. I can't even hear your comments, Steven. Wolf does not have a fractured ankle, so that's good. Yep, Mr. B. We have the Mr. B logo. I got my Mr. B pin on here for Pat Bolin. God, Steven. Andrew, like I said, at the halftime hash, I'm still proud of our boys, even though we lost. We're improving every week, and that's what we want to see. Wins will come in bunches. Love our Broncos. That's kind of what I was talking about before. I'm skipping yours, Steven, so I can get to the bottom. Let's see. Levi says I'm correct. I know I'm correct. I'm just kidding. No, I appreciate that. Defense will come around. Timothy, why can't I see the posts? Timothy, let me know what post you can't see, and I'll try and answer that for you. Turnovers. Steven's talking. I'm ignoring him. Ian, hate to say it, but I honestly think we need to get rid of John Elway. Again, dude, give it a couple years. That's just the way it is. Been saying that for years. Then stand corrected. This is a league. God, Steven, shut up. I love you, bro. Ian, he's cheap. Don't like to spend money. Well, do we? Who said that? Ian, would you rather spend the majority of our salary cap on 3 or 4 players? And that's kind of what Dallas is doing. They have a couple, players they pay a ton of money, but then they don't have enough money for really spreading out good talent throughout the team. So cheap can be good. It just you got to get the most bang for your buck, and that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Drafts or coaches? I blame drafts. Red Cloud. I'd blame drafts. And coaches from the last 2 years. This coaching staff, I haven't seen anything from them to tell me to not believe in them. We're making, we're staying calm. We're not freaking out. We don't abandon the run game. If you think back to the last couple of years, as soon as we got down by a touchdown, we had completely abandoned the run game. And so teams knew exactly what we were going to do. We are going to pass, 75% of the time, and they were able to shut us down. Today, Red Cloud is a perfect example. Our run game was working. Even when we were down, we kept running the ball. So I blame the drafts for our lack of depth right now. Chris, we need more pass rushers than wide receivers. We can't win if we can't get pressure on the quarterback. I agree, but I think we got an average amount of pressure on the quarterback today, is my take. Josh Allen was there for us. We passed. Dwight Haskins was there. We passed on him. So, yeah, Casey, I mean, you're right. They were there, but we had no idea what they were going to do in the NFL. You know what I mean? We had no idea. I'm trying to think. There's plenty of examples of you look at teams' histories and drafts, and they passed up on somebody, or someone was there available that they skipped on, that somebody else picked up, and now they're doing great. When it comes to the draft, it's a big gamble. You go off what your scouts say. You go off the numbers. You go off what you need more, or who the best player available is in your mind. But you don't know how they're going to play in the NFL, because NFL from college is so different. So we can sit there and hindsight is 2020. Okay, guys, I can't think of all these comments. You guys are awesome. Mayo, always stand by the Broncos. Completely agree. Jim, Broncos look like crap. Flacco is burnt out. Coming to the game looking defeated before they even start. Literally the only one playing his heart out is Lindsey. Everyone else sucks. Sad, angry face. Fucking hard to believe to be a fan of the shit. Jim, I get what you're saying, man, but this is football. Unless you're a Patriots fan and they always win. But even then, look, when Tom Brady's gone, eventually Bill Belichick's going to be gone. Look, every team goes through these low periods. Some teams longer than others. Look at the Raiders, look at the Redskins, teams like that. But this is not going to happen with the Broncos. We're not going to stay down. Not for many years. It's going to get better, Jim. I can tell you that. It will get better. Wayno, Wolf status, don't know exactly, other than he does not have an ankle fracture. Not much we can do. Locke isn't going to do more than Flacco. Yeah, Dylan, perfect point. What is Locke going to do that Flacco isn't right now? Nothing from Garrett Bowles this week, so that's a good thing. Reisner is a good one. Completely agree. I think Reisner is the strong point on our offensive line right now. Robert, people need to be chill and more patient, please. Completely agree. We need more wide receivers. Yeah, we got a bunch of young wide receivers, but I don't know if more is going to be the answer there. Craig, staying loyal. Philip, let's see. Kenny says Lindsey doing pretty good. Wayno, diehard pissed off Broncos fan. That's pretty accurate there. I'm gonna do a few more of these comments, guys, and then I'm gonna tell you a couple things before we get out of here. Red Cloud, Elway buy the Broncos, please. Yeah, he's already said he doesn't have the money to do that. That whole ownership dispute between the Bolin daughters needs to get figured out sooner than later. What's my take on the Bolin lawsuit? Can't remember if it's Bethany or Brittany, who's in line, who has earned the trust, if you will, who has followed those rules laid out by Pat Bolin on who's going to take over the team based off experience and everything else. This needs to get resolved sooner than later is my take on it. It sucks. It's hurting the Broncos. We have no real leadership. in terms of who the owner is. Again, it was a bylaw of the NFL that every team operating had to have a clear-cut owner for them to operate as a football team in the NFL. And how many years did we get away with that? The NFL just kind of kept ignoring it until finally, all these other teams are getting pissed off at us because we don't have an owner. And they're complaining to the NFL, and finally the NFL just waived that rule completely. So, I don't know the specifics of it other than it needs to get resolved. And the disputes need to stop. I think it's very clear who's going to take over as ownership, as the owner for the team, but it just needs to happen. Let's see, Ryan, just be prepared for changes coming this year. Well, yeah, you're not wrong. There are going to be changes, especially if we can't turn things around. It's not going to be from the coaching staff. Coaching staff will not change. They will still be there. Nate, how you doing? Good to see you back. Or Neil, how you doing? Ricky, why not kick Garrett Bowles inside to guard? Because he's never played guard. You can't just throw, when it comes to the offensive line guys, you can't just plug and play players in different positions without. And Garrett Bowles isn't going to do better on the inside guard. But even then, who are we going to throw out to the left side there? The way it is right now, we just don't have depth. This is the best line we have to offer. Reisner at tackle, maybe, but then if you think that Garrett Bowles is going to do well at Reisner's job, his position right now, I don't think that's going to. Sorry, Ricky, I disagree. Look, once Juwan James comes back, then maybe we can talk about this of moving Reisner over there because we have Juwan James, or maybe even Wilkinson over to Bowles' spot. But for today, we didn't hear Bowles' name, so okay. I don't see any more comments from Steven, so that's good. Jamie says 4-12. Yeah. I don't want that to be the case. I still want us to aim for 8-8, but we'll see how this team keeps improving. Okay, Shane, I'm not leaving. I'm a diehard fan from the beginning of the season. I was hoping to get to the dance. I hope we still have a chance. I'm not going to cause it like Chief fans do. We turn things around. You think you're going to turn things around by the Chiefs game? Okay. Quarterback's not the issue. I hope we get things turned around by then. That'd be fantastic. In order for our offense to score more points, our offensive line needs to has time to gel. Give Flacco more time. Yep, we have talent. We'll be good. Play calling is what it is. We're just taking what the defense is giving us. So, guys, there's a lot of things there. I appreciate all of your comments, questions. You guys are fantastic. I think the big thing we can take away from this is we have a ton of diehard fans, and you guys are all fantastic for it. So, appreciate all of you tuning in today. Initial reaction. So chew on this a little bit, digest it. It sucks. So it's me personally. I'm gonna have the rest of this beer. Fantastic, and just try and figure out some of the good things. Now let's talk about some of the good things that we can focus on moving forward. So Tuesday night, Beer Broncos, no BS, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I will see you then. Listen for a post-game podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all those major platforms. And then check out BroncosOrangeWeekly.com. We have some blog posts up there that we're trying to write for you guys. Also, if you want to donate and help us out, go to patreon.com/orangeweekly. If you want to even donate $1 a month, that'd be a huge, we definitely appreciate that. Any of those money, it doesn't go to our pockets. It goes to helping us buy better equipment and being able to provide you guys with more Broncos content. So, in addition to that, you'd be entered for a monthly prize as well as the end of the season prize. Probably thinking about a jersey or something like that. So, hang in there, guys. Broncos country, stay strong. You guys are fantastic. I will see you Tuesday night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will catch you guys later. Have a good night.